What up, YouTube? I'm Michael. I'm one of the co-owners of Vintage Affiliated here in ALVIN, Texas. Antonio just pulled up. We're fixing to go around the shop and show you the new updated inventory that we have in. And winter is here, the cold weather is here, so let's get into it. First up, man, we got this Los Angeles Lakers satin starter piece. This one's super live, bro. It's super clean. The cuffs haven't been stretched out. I mean, I don't know if it's ever been worn. I love these satins with the big NBA logo on the side. There's nothing in the back, but these are super early, late 80s, early 90s. Now with LeBron being in LA, we've been trying to get as much Lakers stuff in the store as we can. And those of y'all who are in the Houston area that thrift a lot or try to acquire, you know, Lakers stuff is damn near impossible to get, so we're happy to have this one inside the store. Next up, we got this Polo Sport spell out piece. In decent condition. It's actually in very good condition. You know, a lot of y'all who are familiar with these Polo pieces, a lot of this will start flaking when you start washing it or it gets out in the weather, but this one is super clean. You got the Polo Sport patch on the side. Of course, the Polo spell out. The Polo is basically graphic on there, but this is all embroidered. Just a cool little windbreaker. You know, something you can throw on, go run errands in. A lot of these vintage Polo Sport pieces, we try to get them. They're hard to get, as y'all know. Shout out to all the low life heads out there, man. This one's super live though. We got a Tommy plaid piece. These vests have been they've been popping, bro. A lot of people, I hear them when they come in the shop, they're like, man, I don't know if I can pull it off. Anybody can pull off a vest, bro. Anything, you know, long sleeve. You can wear a hoodie underneath. This one's actually reversible, as you can see. It's got the khaki inside, and then you can also wear it out with the red. Kind of has like that lumberjack vibe. But I'm big on vests, bro. I've got a bunch of North Face vests. I've got a bunch of Carhartt vests. I rock vest heavy, bro. It's just layering, you know what I'm saying, accessorizing, and don't be afraid to wear stuff, man, outside of your comfort zone, man. That's how you're gonna turn heads. Man, we got this Tommy Hilfiger rowing spell out. Tommy Hilfiger came out with the rowing line. The pieces that I've been able to see is basically this fleece. We've had another one. It actually wasn't in this good a condition. The other one flew pretty quick. We've also had the rugbies, the Tommy Hilfiger rugbies. It has rowing going across, but this particular Tommy line, the rowing line, is dope, man, with the rowing paddles going across, the big H, and then the Tommy spell out. This is just the front. It has that Tommy crest. It's a half zip fleece. You know, this one is, you can wear it with anything, bro. You can throw on some black joggers. You can dress it up with some jeans. But the Tommy rowing is super live. It's almost one of those categories like the Lotus, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But yeah, this one's crazy, bro. We got a Tommy spell out tennis tee. It's got the obviously the Tommy going across. The tennis ball is substituted for the O on the Tommy, but it's got that old Tommy flag logo and tag inside. I don't know why, bro. These are like super simple, man, but you don't see these a lot. You know, flag tees you see all the time. T-shirts that just say Tommy on them, you see them all the time. But these particular pieces, you know, with the tennis ball, this is like some super 90s preppy, you know, Agassi type vibe, and that's why I like these pieces big time. I feel like a lot of the Nike stuff has been oversaturated, so I'm gonna show y'all some different stuff that I like. Obviously, you know, the surf style is pretty popular. We have two different types right here. This surf style obviously has a surf style spell out graphics going down both sleeves. This one's super mint. The thing that's funny about the surf style, man, is a lot of them always have on the size tag one size fits all. So if you ever buy these or you're in a store wanting to get these, make sure you try these on, man, because they are not labeled medium, large, XL. But Yeah, surf style is like a super 90s, bro. Surfer type, you know what I mean? Surf style, OP, the body glove, a lot of them old vintage 80s and 90s surf pieces. They sell great for us, dude. They really, I mean, we do a lot of numbers whenever we have these vintage surf pieces in there. And I like them, bro, because, you know, it's stuff you don't see all the time. You know, you don't see a lot of these off-brand, like the Sergio Tacchini. This is also another one. We actually have a few of Sergio Tacchini's. And I don't see a lot of vintage stores with these in there as far as the Sergio Tacchini's. But for those of y'all who don't know why this brand is special, if you look up early 90s hip-hop, whether it's Notorious B.I.G. and a lot of them guys, they are rocking Sergio Tacchini windsuits. I'm talking about they're rocking these windbreakers with the pants. So you know, these Sergio Tacchini pieces, they're super significant, man. I mean, if we're really here, if we're really saying that this culture is about the 90s and it's about, you know, hip hop and it's about whatever music you're into, you got to have these in your inventory, man. Sergio Tacchini, I know in VA we'll never let this brand die, man, because this is, like I said, we carry Nike and Reebok, we carry all that too, but to me, these pieces really speak. Those off-brand, the ones that got history. Everybody knows, like I said, about Adidas, Nike, and Reebok, and we carry those too. But to me, these pieces are super special, man. Just to see, like I said, B.I.G., a lot of them East Coast rappers, you know, wearing the whole windbreaker suit. You know, it's that vibe, bro. These are live, bro. Super live. Man, I have to speak about this one because a lot of people don't know. They think it's just a Nautica vintage windbreaker. Give y'all a little history on this particular piece, and we've actually had a black one in before. This is only the second Nautica Sport Tech we've had. If you see, it says Nautica Sports Tech. It's not your typical Nautica tag. Also, just to give y'all a little history on it, Nautica came out with a brand specifically for Glen Rice. For those NBA fans, a lot of people don't know who Glen Rice was. He played for the Lakers for a while. He went to some other teams. But Glen Rice, Nautica was thinking about jumping into the NBA, sponsoring a player, and they gave Glen Rice his own line. There's even sneakers. You know, go online, you know, check me, research Nautica Sport Tech sneakers, and those are Glen Rice's sneakers. So what they did, make a long story short, they gave him his own line, and that's what these are. These are mid to late 90s Nautica Sport Tech pieces. You don't see a lot of these in here. As far as in this shop or anywhere else, these are very hard to come by. There's nothing on the back, but it's super lightweight. It even has a 3M Nautica Sport Tech on the cuff. But you know, I know a lot of y'all would see this and probably leave it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I love these off-brand pieces. We try and carry stuff that everybody else doesn't. You know what I mean? Last windbreaker I'm going to show you. I have to get the Perry Ellis, off. Perry Ellis is also one of those mid to late 90s hip hop fashion wear, bro. Like they busted these out. You would have Perry, you know, you would see the crew necks with the sweats, Perry Ellis logo on the sweats. So we always keep Perry Ellis in here, man. This is actually the only windbreaker we have of Perry Ellis right now. You don't find them a lot, and like I said, they just have, they're super hip hop historic, man. They're like people, you know, like I said, this is another piece people would just leave in the thrift, or they would just leave. They don't think it has no significance, but it really does, man. Perry Ellis is definitely old school streetwear. First up, man, as far as in the jersey department, we've got this Michigan Wolverines. It almost looks like a hockey jersey, but it's just really oversized. You know, Michigan Wolverines, the colorway, bro. You know, when I was coming up in the early mid 90s, I was a teenager, and the teams that everybody rocked was you know, UNLV, Georgetown, LA Kings, LA Raiders, and it was definitely the Michigan Wolverines. This was just a logo everybody rocked back in the 90s. And yeah, this piece is super clean, man. just a lot of quality going on, man. Fully embroidered, bro. Every letter is embroidered. You know, it's almost like a cut and sew vibe. They almost use like a jersey material with some polyester. You know, still in great condition, bro. I know this has to be an early 90s piece. Definitely 90s. Whether it's early or late, I don't know, but I know it's definitely got an early 90s vibe. We've got a, of course, everybody's familiar with the vintage Majestic baseball pieces. I like these because they're like an off color, right? You know, a lot of people would expect to see just the blue or white jersey with the NY on the chest. We always try and get these baseball jerseys that you just don't see a lot. The reason I like this piece is because, first of all, you have the spell out Yankees. You know what I mean? It's definitely a home jersey. Anything with pinstripes, bro, is gonna sell, especially in this store. No matter what jersey it is, basketball, baseball, if it has pinstripes, it's gonna sell. So the fact that it has Yankees across, and then this colorway, you never see this colorway. You know what I mean? It's one of those alternative colorway jerseys. But this line, especially the like this, it's almost like a Volt color, bro. And you know, the Volt didn't get popping until late 2000, you know, 2009, 2010. You know, that's whenever Nike started busting out everything Volt, this lime green. And to think that they came out with this in the late 90s, this Volt colorway that probably sat on shelves, bro. People weren't rocking this loud ass jersey in the 90s. But the fact that it's made it all the way to 2018, pinstripes, Volt colorway, Yankee spell out. I mean, what more, bro? This one's live as hell. NFL vintage football jerseys right here. We got a Logo Athletic and a Russell. A lot of y'all who know y'all's football history, we got Chris Carter, one of the best wide receivers that Michigan ever had. I mean, I'm sorry, that Minnesota ever had. And then, of course, a guy that's not talked about a lot, bro, but he's super underrated as far as in the history books, is Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham, super tall quarterback for the Eagles. He was Michael Vick before there was a Michael Vick. This cat ran all kinds of yards. Super talented, man. I like having these old football jerseys in here. Also, we have a dead stock Randy Moss. Dead stock champion. This one's actually a champion. Randy Moss. You got the champion logo with the Minnesota Vikings. Super crispy, bro. No cracking on it. Super clean Randy Moss. And you know, to me, that Randy Moss, other than Jerry Rice, to me is the greatest wide receiver ever lived. I know a lot of people gonna hate on the comments, but that's just my opinion. Me and Isaiah also, I had Isaiah watching Moss when he used to play football, but Moss was just, Moss would show up to the football games dressed in streetwear, man, when it wasn't popular to be that way. And I like Moss because he was always himself. He spoke his mind. But we always try and keep these super historical players in the store, man, in VA.
So, man, how long you know, y'all been doing this for, and how did it all get started? Vintage Affiliated, the brand, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking, bro, because, like, you know, a lot of people are aware of the store. You know, they're aware of Vintage Affiliated, the logo, but a lot of people don't know kind of how we got started, you know, where this came from. But basically, bro, you know, I've spent my whole teenage years through the 90s. You know, in 1990, I was 11 years old. So in 1999, I was 19. So my whole teenage years was just, you know, trying to find streetwear. And there was no internet, bro. I hate to sound like an old guy, bro, but there was no internet. You know what I mean? And actually, I remember the very first cassette tape I ever seen. My older sister gave me a Too Short tape, and he was basically like sitting on top of this tombstone, but he was like just dressed in like streetwear, bro, you know. But back then you didn't have brands, bro, who basically like made stuff or put together collections for people that were which we consider the street us, right? I mean, it's culture, it's hip hop, it's streetwear, it's you know. So back then you had to take pieces and almost turn them into kind of like streetwear, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how I got introduced, was really through the music. And then back then I started, the only way you could see stuff like this was like, you know, rap albums, you know, Ghetto Boys, you know, LL Cool J, stuff like that. You know, magazines. That was it. You know, we didn't have no internet. We didn't have no Instagram. You know, if you wanted to see this, you had to go find it. And that's basically kind of how I spent my whole teenage years. I've always kind of like been into fashion. You know what I'm saying? I've always been conscious of what I wear. Because when I was growing up, really started in middle school, where you almost had to pick a side, right? You had to either pick whether you were going to be, you know, with the kickers or with the jocks, or, you know, or you're going to be, you know, they had the gothic people, you know, and stuff like that. And it's crazy because when you get to middle school, you almost got to pick a side. Yeah. And friends that you went to school with in elementary, y'all like split, right? Yeah. Because, you know, I gravitated more towards, you know, the street dudes, you know what I mean? And I've always been the youngest out of everybody that I hung around with. My whole crew was basically older than me. So, but it was an influence of all that, man, you know, and I raised my two sons, you know, I always dressed them in streetwear. But, you know, the way I got into vintage was, I never stopped buying stuff, right? Like, you know, I have to give credit to my wife, because me and my wife been together over 20 years, and she would always thrift, you know what I mean? You know, when they were growing up, that's how they school shop. They went to thrift stores and they bought stuff. Well, I would go with her back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I would go with her and I would just pick up, like, you know, Rockets pieces, you know, because I wasn't fully, you know, into the thrift as far as the culture goes. You know, I didn't even know there was a culture. But anyway, we would go to these thrift stores and I would find like crazy stuff, man, like, you know, crazy Rocket stuff, crazy Astro stuff, old school Carl Kanai stuff, cross color. I would find this stuff, and I was only getting stuff my size, right? Because I didn't care about, you know, any other sizes. I was only getting stuff my size, and I kind of just collected pieces over the years. And it wasn't until Isaiah, which is my oldest son, he actually co-owns a store with me. He started wearing my shit, bro. Like, he was going to school and he was wearing it, and people were going crazy for it, and was like, man, where'd you get that? And he would wear it to the mall, and people would stop him because it was a sweater or a shirt they hadn't seen in 20 years, you know what I mean? And it wasn't until me and him got together. The way we started was back in 2013. He had actually started Shoe Affiliated, which was basically, you know, just a shoe crew. We would go to H-Town Sneaker Summit, Sneaker Con. We were heavy into restoring OG Jordans, and we would just sell shoes just like any other crew out there, bro. There's a million of them. And we would go to all these sneaker events, pop up on a table, put our shoes out, and try to flip them. And that's kind of how we got started, you know. And basically, whenever the shoe game kind of, you know, I say died out, it's still alive. But, you know, when Nike rose their prices up and they flooded the market with multiple pairs, you know, that kind of killed the game. And this vintage stuff, I'll be honest with you, bro. When I started Vintage Affiliated, you know, I was like, man, everybody knows us as Shoe Affiliated. I'm just gonna take the shoe part out of the name and put vintage. And that's what we did. And so when I first started Vintage Affiliated Instagram, I started it in actually April of 2017. I posted my first posting on Vintage Affiliated, and it was just a bunch of like old school Rockets shirts and hats. I didn't even know anybody else in Houston messed with vintage. I thought I was the only one, you know what I mean? And it wasn't until we got out there and started like doing pop-ups at different places that I realized, oh shit, there's like a bunch of people into this. It was just like the shoe culture, bro. Yeah. But it was with clothes and it was with vintage. You know what I mean? And we started doing pop-ups, bro. And just to tell you how quickly it blew up, we started the company Vintage Affiliated in April of 2017. By June, we were already looking for a place, bro. Like 3 months, you know, 2-3 months later, we were already looking for a place to open up a store. And that's kind of the foundation of how it happened, you know. But we kind of like, you know what, bro? I'm the type of person that I don't like to talk about shit for a long time. You know what I mean? We're either gonna do it or shut up. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And it sounds easier than it is, but you know, we were nervous, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never owned a business before. Nobody ever, you know, taught me, hey, bro, this is what commercial insurance is. This is what, you know, sales tax is. I had to learn all that. You know what I mean? But you know, we learned it, bro, and we opened it up and we did it the right way, and the community responded, bro. You know, just to give a little history, bro, we you know, we were nervous. We opened up August 4th of 2017, and the very first day we opened was a Friday, right? And we were nervous, man. We were like, damn, dude. You know, we added up the rent and all the bills, and we're like, damn, man, we gotta make, you know, this much. You know what I mean? And we ended up making 3 or 4 times that the first 2 or 3 days, you know, that we were open. And we didn't even have that many Instagram followers at the time. I want to say it was around under 1,000. Yeah. But from, you know, 12, you know, in the afternoon till 9 o'clock that night, dude, people just came in. And we didn't even have this back part. All we had was a front showroom. You know what I mean? But people saw the vision, you know. We introduced a lot of people into the vintage game in, you know, this area, you know. ALVIN, Angleton, Galveston, you know, Freeport. I think a lot of people, you know, even like where you're from, bro, even in Lamarck, a lot of people feel like, you know, them smaller towns ain't up on certain shit, bro. And you know, to be honest with you, we go hard for that. You know what I'm saying? And so it was important for me, because we could have opened up in Houston, bro, to keep it 100. Yeah. You know what I mean? We could have opened up wherever we wanted. But I was like, nah, bro, we got to take it home. You know what I'm saying? And people are either going to fuck with it or they're not, bro. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in that. You know, all I could do is put my art out there, and they're going to mess with it. But, you know, yeah, just, you know, me, Isaiah, Alec, Henry, us 4, bro. You know, we were in here painting. You know what I mean? We were putting work in. And there, you know what was crazy, bro? Not to be on no cocky shit, but there was no doubt in our mind that this shit was gonna work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Me and Isaiah, we saw the vision. It's like when you first came. You know, I wasn't even here the day you met Isaiah and them at the thrift and came here. But you saw the vision, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like everybody that we've met that is family to us, they've seen the vision, bro. You know what I mean? And it was more than just having a store, bro. You know what I mean? Because you know, I don't get off on, oh man, I'm an owner of a store and the status that comes with that. I don't care about that, bro. To me, I want to inspire other cats to do this. You know, to let them know, hey, bro, I don't come from a background of entrepreneurship and stuff. So, you know, if I can do it, you know what I'm saying, you can't do it. And it sounds cliche, but we got to start owning our own shit, bro. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I respect what you do. I respect anybody putting their own money up and you know, owning their shit, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Cause we got enough people, like, you know, wait. Like I'm not gonna sit back and wait for something to happen, bro. And you don't either. You get up every morning and put 100% into this YouTube channel, and that's what we do for the store, bro.
It's just like you were saying, like the vision. I met him last year, well, almost a year, December. That's when I met Alec. I met Alec, then I met Isaiah and Henry. I was at a thrift store. I was, you know what I'm saying, recording a video, and it was on a Thursday, I believe. You know, I was in there and I seen Alec. He was looking through the racks, and I was like, man, I seen these people from somewhere. I seen them on IG, you know, because people always, you know, like a suggestion or something like that or whatever, like a promoting ad. And I seen them, like, or I don't know, it was like a follower or something. I was following somebody, and I seen the ad, and I seen them, like, yo, this is vintage affiliated. So, you know, I went up to him and I asked Alec, yo, y'all vintage affiliated? They're like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, we buy, sell, trade. We got a store out there in ALVIN. And it was like, ALVIN, you know, that's literally like 15 minutes away from my house. So from there, I met Isaiah and Henry. And from there, you know what I'm saying, we started connecting. And they were like, man, go to the shop. You know, we got a bunch of stuff out there. We buy and sell and trade. So I came out here, you know, check it out. I was like, man, this store is dope. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah was in here, you know, and I told him, man, I mean, man, you know what I'm saying? I was hyped, man. I was ready to see the store when, you know, when they told me they had a store. And Isaiah was in here. He was pricing some stuff, and I sold some stuff to him. I was like, bro, you know, I like the store, bro. I was like, if you don't mind, man, let's shoot a video. And after that, you know, I'll link that video below so y'all can check it out, so y'all can see the difference, and from how it, you know, was and now, you know what I'm saying. And you know, we recording the whole video, man. We seen a lot of stuff, and you know, off the camera, you know, I was like, bro, this is gonna grow, dude, in the next upcoming years. I was repeating in my head, like, yo, this is gonna grow, this is gonna blow up, man. So many people's gonna know about y'all. Y'all gonna Houston area, ALVIN, to, you know what I'm saying, to other cities. And you know, as months passes, man, they're growing. They have more stuff, more inventory, more people know about them. Their IG's blowing up. You know, I think when I first met y'all, I think y'all was around 1K, I believe 2K.
You were early, bro.
No, I was early before that.
Yeah, you were early.
Yeah, early before that.
Yeah.
Now, if you check it now, they're almost at 10K.
Yeah.
They grew a lot.
Yeah.
And you have people going crazy. But I was telling y'all, man, I was there from there. We started recording the video. I told him, man, y'all gonna blow up, man, next couple months. And what happened? They're blowing up, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I go to all their events. I haven't missed one yet. Their sneaker summit, all the big events. I never missed one. Sneaker Con's coming up. You want to tell them more about it?
Yeah, man. We're gonna be at Sneaker Con and H-Town Sneaker Summit in December and January. We were at the last H-Town Sneaker Summit, which is when you popped up, but we always try to make them events, you know, and we do hip hop flea market every month. And to be honest with you, man, we do it to be part of the culture, bro. You know, it's, you know, shout out to all the vintage vendors, including yourself, who pack up y'all stuff. And it's not easy, bro. It's hard to do a pop-up event. You know, you gotta pack all the stuff up, you gotta unpack it, you gotta curate it at the pop-up. You know, and you might not sell nothing, or you might sell, you know, a couple racks. So shout out to everybody who does it. You know, I don't like it, bro. I'll be honest with you. It's a lot of work. Yeah. You know, and I don't know if it's from being spoiled in the shop, you know, because we're at a point now where, you know, people are constantly coming into the shop now like a regular store. But it takes it's a lot of work, man, to go doing pop-up. But I feel it's important, man. Like, shout out to Alec and Henry, because they love hip hop flea market, bro, and they go every month. And not to be on no cocky shit, but we don't need to do pop-ups at this stage of where we're at. But it's not about that. It's about still being part of the culture. You know, I never wanted to be that type of crew that were, oh, they're just, you know, on the outskirts, you know, making their money, and they don't care about the culture no more. You know, we care about it, bro, and we live it. You know, there's not a night or day that don't go by where me, Alec, Henry, and Isaiah are in the kitchen at the house, and we're talking about this vintage culture, bro. I mean, we live it, this streetwear culture for real. But yeah, man, like Antonio said, he was early, bro. If I'm not mistaken, we were only open like 4 or 5 months when Antonio popped up. And what I like about you, bro, and I'm a believer of telling people their worth when they're alive, bro. I don't like that fake shit where people stand up at the funeral, talk about how much they love them. I believe in telling them while they're alive. And shout out to Antonio, bro, because he reps his shop like it's his shop, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? And in the same way, you know, we rep his channel. You know, he can do whatever he wants in this store, bro, at any time. I mean, if he was to call me and we were closed, I'd open it up for him to do whatever he wants. And that's what it's about, man. To me, if you call yourself family, bro, and you call yourself, you know, homeboys or homies, if you got a YouTube channel, bro, I gotta rep it like it's my channel, bro. You know, and in the same way, like you do, you rep this shop like it's your shop. And I feel like that's what's missing right now in the culture, bro. It's like, you know, everybody, like, people feel like, well, if I rep him or repost your stuff, then people are not gonna respond to my stuff, and that's not what it's about. You know what I mean? Those who are close to us, bro. I've had dudes do pop-ups in the store and ain't charged them a dime, bro. You know what I mean? You know, and they've made money. I've had a few people do pop-ups in here, and I ain't charged them a quarter, bro. You know what I mean? Because Because to me, if I invite you in to do a pop-up, it's because I mess with you, you know what I'm saying? You're my family. Yeah, so basically January 6th, we had a huge, it was actually one of our first big events. We had Roundhouse, shout out to Roundhouse Vintage. He was doing a pop-up in store, and we were actually dropping the shoe wall, which I'm sure Tony will get some B-roll behind us, but it was just our first big event as a store, you know, kind of letting the community and the surrounding areas in H-Town know, like, you know, hey, we're here, you know what I mean? And anyway, I remember, shout out to Retro Sneakers. Retro Sneakers was actually doing the videography for us that day. We had hired him to kind of just capture the whole day so that we can drop a video of it, and I'm sure he'll put a link below for that video. But anyway, the event was crazy, and it was, you know, of course, Antonio got in early, and before we had a line. Remember, we had that big ass line. People lined up a couple hours before the doors opened. We were dropping a bunch of rare Supreme shoes, vintage. And anyway, it was the first time we met Retro, man. We just, you know, we hired him to shoot a video. He tripped out on the store, and anyway, I remember I was in the back room, the back dressing room, doing an interview with Retro, and somebody busted through the door and was like, man, Paul Cantu is here. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. So you know, and that was the day I met Paul for the first time too. And shout out to Paul, man. Paul's been supporting us also since day one. He's done a couple of videos in here. If I recall correctly, we were one of the first shops that he's ever kind of, you know, featured in a video and kind of shouted us out. And so shout out to Paul for that, man, because he didn't have to do that, bro. But my point is, you know, I didn't hit Paul up, bro. Yeah. You know, or I didn't hit, you know, Retro's been here a bunch of times shopping with us. I don't hit them guys up and are like, hey, man, can you shout me out? Or can you shout out the store? Can you feature the store? They did it just off of the strength of just being boys, bro, and because they love the shop. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've never wanted to, you know, ride off of somebody else's, you know, weight, bro, or pull or fame. You know, I've always wanted us to make it on our own merit. You know what I mean? But them guys, you know, Paul and Retro were just cool enough to shout us out and shout us out on Instagram, and our followers went from, you know, a 0 to 100, bro. We just gained a bunch of followers that night. And so shout out to them because they didn't have to do that, bro. You know, and after that day, even before that, I was watching Paul's videos, I was watching Retro's videos, and you know, I still support them to this day. It's important for us to support our own, bro. You know what I mean? I think what Paul has done and what Retro have done is they created their own lane, bro. They're doing stuff that nobody else did before they started it, bro. And they're from Texas, bro. They're from Houston. Like, we gotta start supporting our own, bro. You know, and they came, showed us love, shouted us out, and our Instagram followers went up. So that was really a big help to us too. And you know, I think what sets us apart from a lot of other shops, bro, is I personally don't care what everybody else, what other shops are carrying. Yeah. You know, just to be honest with you, I don't care, dude. I don't care what they're selling. I don't care what they're carrying. And I'm friends with all of them, bro. Yeah. I mean, everybody who owns a shop in the area, I'm good friends with them. And you know, when we hook up, we don't even talk about shop or clothes, bro. We're, you know, hey, how's your family doing? How's your wife? You know what I'm saying? But just me personally, I've always wanted to create the wave. I've never wanted to follow the wave. You know, I'll give you a good example, man. You know, every season, you know, the four of us, we try and get together and curate a certain a look of what the shop's gonna look like. You know, before summertime came, you know, we went heavy on the tank tops and the swim trunks, you know, the Colorful Nautica polo and all that, which, hey, everybody does that. I think every vintage guy pushes tank tops and swim trunks. But what the game was missing was we started to carry the high-waisted women's denim shorts, like the Calvin Kleins, the Cavalriccis, the Jabots, but especially the CK1, you know, the CK Calvin Klein. We had an entire rack of women's denim shorts, and it blew up, dude. I mean, that really made our women clientele shoot up. I mean, a lot more women started coming into the shop, and that's what it's about. You know, before that, I remember I told all the vintage guys I would see at the thrift or I would see at the events, hey man, you got any CK women's denim shorts? And they'd be looking at me like, man, what? Hell no, I ain't got none of that. But you know, we went on a rampage of just grabbing as many women's denim shorts, and we just wanted to bring something new, bro. And now, you know, you see a lot of girls rocking them, bro, and they bought them right here. You know what I mean? So it's about bringing something new to the game. That's why I respect, you know, when I see somebody in the vintage game bring something new that I haven't seen before. You know, like even earlier, bro, when we went through the shop, you know, I had told Antonio, I said, man, I'm tired of everybody seeing the same Nike windbreakers and the same polo shirts. Let me try and show them something different. You know, I think it's about being different, bro. I think there's enough brands, there's enough waves, there's enough styles in this vintage stuff that everybody does not have to carry the same thing. Because be real, you go to an event or you go to a shop and everybody has Rocket shirts or, you know, Starter Oiler stuff, which I love that shit, bro. You know, I love it. I rock it, I wear it. You know, you see NASCAR all the time. I got one on now. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that stuff, but you know, to me, I like showing them, you know, that's why we carry stuff like Pele Pele, you know, Sergio Tashini. It's brands that I want the customers to come in and be like, bro, what's that? Like, you know what I'm saying? What brand is that? And I like to be able to educate them. So that's what I like to do, bro.
Cool. One last question to end it off. The most important question. What do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Man, dude, where do I see us in the next 5 years?
Vintage affiliated.
Vintage affiliated. You know what's crazy, man, is I see us opening more locations, dude, to be honest with you. You know, I think we're almost there. You know, I'm not gonna sit here in front and act like we opened up the doors and everything's been great, you know, because we have faced a lot of, we faced a lot of adversity, bro. You know, we've been lucky, man, you know what I mean, but we faced a lot. We've had setbacks, you know what I'm saying? I get asked the question all the time, you know, man, what you know, I get DMs all the time, man, I'm looking to open up something, bro. Well, what advice do you have? And I tell them, man, you better love what you do. Whatever you're fixing to start, whatever business you're going to start, you better love what you do, because the first few months to a year, you're going to be doing that shit for free. You know what I mean? There ain't going to be no profit in it. But in the next 5 years, I definitely, my personal, you know, you might ask Isaiah and them, they might have a different answer. But me personally, I definitely want our online website to grow, bro. You know what I mean? I think it's important. You know, that people are able, you know, the way our website started was, you know, it's no secret we have low prices, bro. You know what I mean? You know, we had a customer earlier, Antonio was here, and he was just amazed at how cheap our Nike windbreakers were compared to everybody else. But we make it a point to sell stuff for the low. You know what I mean? And what was happening was, our Instagram followers started growing so much that people from out of state were pissed, bro. They were like DMing us, and you know, I would post a jacket for 30 bucks, and then there would be a bunch of comments mad because, well, you don't have a website. So the website really came out of just necessity, bro. A bunch of people from around that weren't local were mad because here was a store in ALVIN that had these super low prices, but there was no way they could, you know, buy from it. So we ended up, you know, creating a website. vintageaffiliated.com, and we uploaded every piece in the store on the website. Everything in store is on our website, and it's not easy to do, like I was telling you earlier. You know, basically what happens is we acquire a piece however we acquire it, whether it's buy, sell, trade, or we find it out in the field. We buy it, we get it cleaned, we tag it, we put a price on it, we inventory it, and then we take pictures and we put it on the website. So there's a lot that goes into it. But our in 5 years from now, I definitely want more locations, and I want our website to grow, bro. And I want it to where, you know, eventually Alec and Henry have their own store, bro. You know, and that's not the goal. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Them dudes are ready, bro. You know, Alec and Henry, to be real with you, man, me and Isaiah are the back, you know, the background. You know, I do a lot of the administrative stuff. I try and get the rare pieces. Isaiah definitely takes care of all the bottom line, the money, you know, the website. And Alec and Henry are basically, they manage the store, bro. They're here every day. You know, they come to me and Isaiah and tell us, hey, that shit ain't gonna sell. That's gonna sell. Hey, they're asking for this. Hey, people are asking for more of this. So yeah, man, I definitely want our website to grow, and I want multiple locations, man. You know, that's the goal.
I just thought about it. A couple more questions off the mind, if you don't mind me asking, if you have time.
Yeah, no problem.
How is Vintage Affiliated different from other vintage stores?
Basically, man, and you know, like I said earlier, it's important, bro, to be different. And I think the way I think the way we separate ourselves from all the other vintage stores is, I only care about what our customers think, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Like, all of us, you know, the whole VA crew, we only care what the customers think. You know, I know other vintage guys, they have a lot more rare stuff, and you know, they might have more rap tees or whatever the case may be. But you know, I think here in VA, we know our customers, bro, and we know what they want. You know, and that's what I think separates us. It's like, to me, bro, when I go to a pop-up, or when VA sets up for a pop-up, or when VA is picking stuff out to put on the racks, I don't care what other vintage guys think. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't care what they think, or I don't care. You know, I'm not trying to set up my store or tent to where it looks dope on Instagram. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to put up as much dope vintage pieces in one spot, and however it looks, it just looks. You understand what I mean? A lot of the customers that are in this area, we're introducing them to vintage for the first time. You know, I'm not one of them old cats that get mad at a teenager because he's wearing a Metallica shirt and he's never heard of Metallica. I'm not tripping on that. If anything, that gives me a chance to explain to them why, you know, that piece is rare, or why that band is who they are. You understand what I mean? I'm cool with educating people, because we all had to start somewhere, bro. I think that's one of the biggest myths or misconceptions is, you got dudes that want to act like they know it all already. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And you know, we talked about it earlier. I still learn shit every day, bro. You know, there's a dude that lives here in town that you know, he's a picker for us. He sells us a lot of stuff, and any polo questions I have Ralph Lauren, I ask him, because he's super educated in polo pieces from the 90s and in Ralph Lauren. So we never stop learning, bro. You know, we know a lot. You know, I'm not gonna get it twisted. You know, everybody in here that works here is very educated on vintage, what tags to look for, when stuff was made, what brands were popping in the 90s. But you know, we're still learning every day, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think people need to never stop learning. You know what I mean? But what separates us is, like I said, we try to carry those off brands like OP, you know, Sergio Tashini, Pele. We try to carry those off brands that not a lot of people are running with. Because, like, you know, you're in this game for a while, bro. You know, you're gonna see Tommy everywhere, Polo everywhere, you know, sports stuff everywhere, which we got all that stuff too, and we love it. You know, but I do want to see those off-brand pieces that makes even a vintage guy stop and be like, damn, what is that, bro? You know what I mean? Explain to me. You know, it don't even have to be a $300 shirt, but it's live, you know, and nobody's got it. So that's kind of, I think, what separates us.
Okay, cool. Where do y'all acquire all these items?
That's probably the #1 question everybody asks me. To be honest with you, bro, and this idea came to me, it was about a year ago, man. You know, when we first started, we were thrifting like everybody else, dude. You know, those of y'all who live in Houston, y'all know how many thrift stores there are in Houston. You know, there's hundreds of thrift stores in Houston, and it's nothing to go into a thrift store and see 2 other vintage guys in there. That's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
And I know he's got videos.
Man,
he's got videos making to that point. But yeah, and you know, one thing that me and Isaiah kind of got together about was like, well, you know what, man? We know we're looking for all this Houston stuff. We're looking for Astros, Rockets, and Order stuff, and you can't find it in Houston, bro. And so I was like, man, screw it, bro. Let's leave. You know, I didn't know if other cities were into vintage like Houston is. You obviously know LA. They're super into thrifting in Houston. You know that Seattle's like that. You know that New York's like that. But I didn't know if other towns were into that. So I left, bro. You know, me and my girl, we got on a flight and we flew. You know, I have brought back some crazy stuff from Denver. I remember I went to Denver for a week. I brought back 4 big suitcases full of vintage. You know, Denver is super live. You know, I've been everywhere, bro. I've been to Denver, Idaho. I've been to Vancouver. Isaiah went to Florida. I mean, anywhere you can think of, we've gone and thrifted from there. But I'm not going to even front a lot of the stuff we have in here. It's people that bring stuff. It's buy, sell, trade. And that's another thing about us that's different from everybody else. Vintage Affiliated buys 24/7. And what I mean by that is there is never, we've been open over a year, and there has never been one day where we have had somebody come in and we weren't buying clothes. Yeah, we buy every day. Even when we don't need it, there's times where we don't need it, bro. You know, people will bring stuff in and we're full out on the showroom floor. The back stock is full. We have stuff at the house, but I always buy because I always want the best thrifters to sell to us. You understand what I mean? And it's not easy, bro. You know, sometimes I'll buy from them and I don't need it. But on the flip side of that, a lot of thrifters have saved us, bro, because like, you know, August is probably one of our biggest months because of back to school. So the past 2 August, you know, that Monday, especially after tax-free weekend, but that first week of September, dude, this freaking store was empty, bro. Like, we didn't have nothing. And a lot of the thrifters came in and sold us stuff, and they really saved us, man. So, but yeah, that any way you can think of getting used clothing, Vintage Affiliated is doing it. Anyway.
As y'all seen, we covered everything. We show y'all around the store, show you a couple pieces that have a lot way more, you know, than the pieces that Michael showed on the video. But yeah, bro, thank you for your time, bro. Thank you for allowing me to do this in your store. You know what I'm saying? Just showing me around, man, and bringing me as family.
For sure. Before we go too, man, I want to shout out Antonio, bro, because he's been down with us since day one. And you know, like I said before, he reps his shops like it's his. And make no mistake about it, man, he's family to us. And you know, y'all support him, man. Subscribe to this channel. I got nothing to do with this channel, you know what I mean? But I watch every video he drops. Me and the whole VA crew are subscribed to him. And you know, shout out to Antonio, bro, because you know, I know he's gonna be going places, bro.
Appreciate it, man. It's like, you know, we grew, you know what I'm saying? When, like I said, like when I met him, we all grew, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We all gained thousands of subscribers. I'm at past 10K now.
Yeah. My
subscriber count's going up. They've been here, you know what I'm saying? Since I had, you know, 50 subscribers, and they watched me grow, and I watched them grow, you know?
Facts, bro.
It's crazy the amount of growth we, you know, Vintage Affiliated and myself have. It's just crazy. But
just a matter of a year.
Yeah,
bro.
it's gonna be
In
crazy.
Just a year,
yeah.
bro.
In just a year, all this happened, despite what I'm going through. Some of y'all know, some of y'all may know, but I will get into detail into that in the sooner video. Stick to that. But thank you for everything, man. They're vintage affiliated, like Paul, Retro, and another person, but I'm not gonna give that person's name, made the biggest impact in my life, you know, and they helped me grow as a person. They gave me hope. They pushed me to become, you know, the greatest beside my parents. And the greatest feeling, man, when you have people there to motivate you. To the fans too, y'all, I love y'all to death. Y'all changed my life forever. They did also, but I thank every single person that showed love, man. Yeah, this is it right here. Thank y'all for watching. I'll link them below.
Yeah, before we go, Isaiah will be mad at me. So Black Friday, we're going to be having a huge sale right here in VA on everything. We're not going to pick out certain pieces. Everything.
Y'all seen there, but nothing but love to them, man. They show nothing but love to me. They always post about when I have a pop-up or anything like that, and I do the same thing as them. Nothing but love to them and the VA family. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.